I'm Jesse Morales.
And I'm Jessica Robinson, and this is the 5 o'clock news on NBC.
We start off this broadcast with some breaking news. Word just got in that President John F. Kennedy has been assassinated in Dallas, Texas.
Wow, what a sad event. In other news, Yuri Gagarin, a Russian cosmonaut, is the very first person in space. He orbited the Earth 108 minutes. American federal officials are reassuring the public that the United States will be close behind in putting another man in space.
A little closer to home, Thurgood Marshall makes history and becomes the first black Supreme Court justice. This is monumental milestone for the African American community.
That is very true, Jesse. In financial news, America is reportedly $286.3 billion in debt, and there are more than 3 million people unemployed currently. Citizens are looking to Vice President Johnson to fix this economic crisis when he is sworn into office later this week.
Amazing. There is a new group gaining popularity called the hippies, or peace lovers. They have contributed to the high-scale use of drugs like LSD, marijuana, heroin, or anything that you can find in pop. Groups like this are affecting our American youth, and you should stay away from them. And make sure your young fellows are not in this stuff.
Say no to drugs. After this commercial break, we will have Gazelle with the weather.
So you need groceries, you need new clothes, you need TV, you need furniture. I go to 10 different shops. Save money in Walmart. Save money, live better. Walmart.
There was a rainstorm. Rains of 7 to 10 inches fell in south central Texas. 11 died from drowning in flash floods. In Austin, about 300 families were driven from their homes. Damage in Austin was estimated at $2.5 million. September 8 to 14, 1961, Hurricane Carla. In Texas, 34 persons died. 7 inches, a tornado that swept across Galveston Island. 465 people were injured. Largest hurricane of record. January 9 to 12, 1962, freeze, disastrous cold wave comparable to the cold waves of 1899 and 1951. Low temperature range from negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit in Panhandle to 10 degrees Fahrenheit at Rio Grande City. Agricultural losses were estimated at $50 million.
Out in Selma or Montgomery, Alabama, you might want to find a way back, wait to work tomorrow. There's a non-violent march going on from Selma to Montgomery to express their desire to be able to vote by the Black American protesters. The protesters have totally engulfed the 54-mile highway right there, so there is no way you'll be driving on that highway by tomorrow. Also, on the other coast in California, we have more road closures due to the Chicano grape boycott. This is by the Latinos. These demonstrations are asking the public to not purchase any grapes to pressure the government to answer the demands of the Mexican-American farm workers. That will add about 2 hours to your commute. Now to Jesse with sports after these messages.
Go, go, go. Take a National Airlines Miami Go-Go vacation. It's Miami at a go-go price. Low jet excursion fares, palatial oceanfront hotel. Now at reduced rates. Have yourself a go-go vacation at America's Riviera. It's National Airlines Miami Go-Go. At a go-go price everyone can afford. Are we putting you on? Jet with National Lucy.
Coast to coast to coast.
Thank you, dude. Now it's time for sports. Hi, my name is Jesse Morales. Good evening. Today in sports news, this is a monumental season for the Dodgers. They have drafted the first African American to Major League Baseball. Nobody other than him, Jackie Robinson. He is the center of attention in the sports world right now. He is expected to do great things in this league this upcoming season. Everybody, he's a threat to everybody. He's a real deal. Let's all watch him this season coming up. It's gonna be fun to watch. In other news, this February, our first ever Super Bowl right here in the stadium will happen. AFC versus NFC, Chiefs against Packers with Vince Lombardi. It's gonna be a real big deal. I think it's gonna be a nice game too. And now we have Muhammad Ali. Come here, Muhammad. Muhammad Ali, please tell us and talk about what you're gonna do now that your 3-year suspension is over.
Well, since my 3 year suspension over, I think it's time for me to go get back in the boxing.
So do you think all this is worth it for civil rights?
Yes, I feel like it is worth it because there's no way possible I could fight for a country who didn't find me as equal.
Thank you.
Nah, only if you got a Mustang.
Hey, you ride?
Yeah.
Okay, girl. Get it forward.
I guess you say what can make me feel this way. My girl, talking about.
Good evening. It's Jessica Nadeau with all your entertainment news going on today.
First up, we have some awesome new artwork popping up around the country. This artwork is a part of the Chicano mural movement. The group of Mexican Americans make these murals to resist and challenge the social norms that are going on. The artwork is inspired by post-Mexican Revolution and pre-Columbian art.
Isn't that just beautiful?
It is.
In other news, a new group is popping up on the American scene, and they're from across the pond. The Beatles are an up-and-coming boy band group, and they just released their debut single, Love Me Do, and it's being played on radios everywhere.
I can't get a song out of my head. The Disney company has released another Disney princess film after the great success of Snow White. It is doing great right now in theaters, which is awesome for Walt Disney, and we are always excited to see what comes up next.
Snow White was such a good movie. Over the weekend, the Woodstock Festival took place. It drew in people by the thousands, and it was said to have peaked at about 400,000 people. Yeah. Despite the amount of people, it was surprisingly peaceful. There were 2 reported fatalities, though. One was a heroin overdose, and the other person was ran over by a tractor while sleeping in a hayfield nearby. On the contrary, there are 2 reported births at the festival. Coincidence? I think not. Either way, it was certainly the place to be.
So I started this great new book called The Feminine Mystique by Betty Friedan right there. It really sheds a light on the struggles of the American housewives and how it can cause an identity crisis. Very controversial. Just like a read.
We'll have to check that out, Adu.
Yeah.
Now we go to Gazelle with all the fashion do's and don'ts. Coming up next.
It's Gazelle, and I'm going to tell you what's in right now. Ever since the invasion from across the pond by the Beatles, plaid miniskirts have been all the rage. Another thing to pair with that skirt are some leather boots. All the big names right now are rocking those. At the recent Woodstock Festival, there are a big presence of psychedelic and tie-dye shirts. I see this trend getting even bigger in the 70s, just a hunch. On the other end of the spectrum, a lot of women are also modeling themselves after Jackie Kennedy. Her style was clean, simple, well-fitted, with perfectly matched accessories. She wore dresses without collars and jackets that buttoned only with one large top button. This brings us to the end of our newscast, but we will see you back here tomorrow at 5.